How's it going, guys? Nerf Gun Charlie here, and I wanted to give you an update. This is kind of, at least for future tense, this is going to be the end of year update. Just because, I've got a little bit of work I want to do on Orb of Time. I'm still trying to locate that newer version, but if I can't find it here soon, I'm going to just go with what I've got. And, holidays. We had to deal with the holidays. And quite honestly, after I finish this final map, we've got just locking things down to research, and it's going to be, can I get this to work before launch day? If so, hammer down. If I can't, but it's possible, probably just take it out and make it as a DLC, and there's going to be a few things I've already kind of put on a list. If they're not going to work before I plan to release this mod for the team, and get it out there for you guys to play. If I can't get it to work, it gets taken out. It'll be an idea for our project board for the future, or for the Fleet Ops version of Future Tense. Just because I know if I can't get it to work here, I know I can get it to work in Fleet Ops. Because we're going to use the Fleet Ops Roots 5.0 as our basis for Future Tense Reborn in Fleet Ops. As always, if you like these updates, like, comment, subscribe, help the algorithm. Like I said, after Future Tense, we've got Orb of Time. We're going to have other things. We're coming up on the 25th anniversary of Armada as it is. But for this short video, I wanted to give you guys an update on the Fleet Museum. Looks like you guys really enjoyed the idea of a Fleet Museum and diving into the lore. One of the big problems that's taking me some time to do is, well, fleshing out the lore, making for sure that I've got good storyboards for each crew, each starship, each captain. Give them the honor that they deserve, give them some interesting storylines, and make sure they all interweave, that I'm not missing things where these two are interacting on this vessel's timeline, but not this one's. So they got to match up. Um, so that's really what's taking this map so long, but I have made some good progress. But that's also why this will probably be the last Future Tense update for the year. I'm going to do one Orb of Time, and there might be like an additional video that's not modding related that I might do, just because I'm trying to broaden the content of the channel. But for starters, we've got our starting unit. As I said, this is a temporal map. The premonition is visited. And this is not just any premonition. And I know that the wireframe doesn't perfectly match. This is an older wireframe. I plan to update it here soon. But this is And Mormon's premonition model that he made for Armada 2. I've converted it to A1. And she's only got warp drive and what we're calling a temporally phased tricobalt torpedo. That's the only weapons she has because she has to deal with our temporal fractures. These are our temporal anomalies. These are, as you, excuse me, as you can see on the map, they are our only quote-unquote enemies. To quote-unquote win the map, you just destroy these with those tricobalt torpedoes, and the map is over. But let's go ahead and get the premonition up here. The goal is to have 5 to 6 Federation hero units that are highlighted. We're looking at about 3 Romulan, at least 2 Klingon. I haven't really put them in the maps, the playable maps. I might do one of the minor races like a Cardassian hero or a Bajoran hero. I'm not sure. I'm not really digging it right now, just because they're not really in the story. But that's it for the heroes that we're going to highlight on this map. And then the third row of starships is going to end up being what Starfleet has done as holographic projections of Cernak's vessels to kind of highlight, this is what these heroes and the Federation, the Klingons, the Romulans, fought against. And here's what little we know about them, for their combat capabilities, for the history from their universe. Just very brief snippets, just to have that on the map. But we finished the Enterprise F and all of its history. When you're going through this history, when you're able to play it, it is clockwise. So your log 1 will always be here at the top. And then starting with log 2, clockwise will be your timeline of, when this vessel started at launch and then kind of its major moments in history, major things that it dealt with, all the way until its quote unquote final mission to the Fleet Museum. However, that happened, whether it was just severely damaged, whether it entered its end of life cycle and they just wanted to retire it, or maybe for one of these on this map, they were just destroyed, and this is a rebuilt representation of that vessel and its history. But we've got the Enterprise F, we have got now the Voyager A Cyrax update, because that's how it ends the Future Tense story. It starts off as just a Federation Borg hybrid. It ends as a Federation Borg Cyrax hybrid. We have the Defiant right here, and this is the same Defiant that ends Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the Sao Paulo that got renamed to Defiant. Um, and this is also an and Mormon model that I've converted. I just wanted to really have a detailed Defiant, and I wanted to highlight some more of his work. It is literally only used for this map. And then this is the start of the USS Challenger, captained by Captain LaForge, because we are carrying that over from the Voyager episode Timeless. Now, I just started this, so he only has log 1. Log 1, by the way, will always be their weapons and shields loadout along with their warp drive. It's kind of something that I got from ditl.org. So we're kind of using that. Is this completely canonically accurate? No, but I just wanted to have something here. So you're going to see the ratings roughly of what I'm interpreting as their defensive systems, their offensive systems, their capabilities at warp drive. If they have more than warp drive, like a slipstream jump. So you'll have that as your log 1, and then log 2 onward, like I said, is their story. And just to show you guys what we're doing for the Starship itself, it has its own little lore of what type of Starship it was, when it entered service, its final refit cycle that it completed, and then when it was decommissioned. And this will also notate in this one, was it destroyed? And this is a recreation. Did it, suffer damage and they just, they rebuilt it and put it to the Fleet Museum, or did it end service with distinction? That's kind of where we're going to go with that. And depending on the vessel, it might have just barely survived. And I'm not really going to give away all of it, but it might have just barely survived the final battle of the Cyrax. And they just said, you know what? She doesn't have anything else in her, and it's going to be too costly to repair her to current standards. So we're going to retire the vessel, send it to the Fleet Museum. It's already had an honored history of 25, 30, 40, 50 years. Or it has a service life where it's 60 plus years of service and it's done incredible things. We want to highlight that. But like I said, this is going to be about the Cyrax War. I've done one of these before and I just highlighted everything from Federation history. It had, I want to say, 30 or 40 Federation starships. It had all the Enterprises on there. It was pretty extensive. And I know that this is a unique setup, compared to what we saw in Picard, but I kind of like this as they're bringing them out with these ring stabilizers. So it's like this is essentially a shield generator or attractor field. It holds it in place, it protects it, kind of deal. Um, but I'm trying to evenly space them out. I've also got these pods lowered, as you can see. So when you come down here, if you wanted to do screenshots of the vessels, you can actually grab them without the sensor pods or the stabilizer being in the way of those shots. It's not going to be exactly perfect on the heights, but and I got to update this one because it's a little tall for the Challenger. So I got to update that one. But this is the general idea. We're going to have the Challenger here. Then I believe the next one is going to be the Titan. We're going to have the Luna class Titan in future tense. That's going to be the next one that we highlight. That might be one that has an early retirement date. I'm not sure. We're going to have that one. And then the sixth and final one that's kind of on the storyboard right now. It doesn't get seen in the missions, but it is playable in the mod, is the USS Rhode Island under the command of Captain Kim. Because why not? You know, he doesn't get that much shine. Um, might as well give him the Rhode Island, give him some unique perspective, unique history with the Rhode Island, because the Rhode Island is going to begin uh, service life before he's captain. So give that ship some unique history, give the Rhode Island history with him. But that's where kind of where we're going to end it. Is we're going to have six here, and then like I said, we'll probably come down maybe to down here, just so there's decent separation, and do our Romulan and Klingon units, and then one more row, do Cyrnax, and then that's going to be it. And I know this is going to be a largely empty map. I might end up putting maybe some moons or nebula or something in here, kind of make it break up a little bit, just so it's not an empty map completely. You know, since we've got Athen Prime in future tense styling over here. But that's kind of what we're looking at. So I'm hoping by January of 25, I've gotten all the Federation. I'm already on the Romulans. Like I said, the only reason this type of map takes as long as it does, I could have all of these, I could have everything placed in like 2 days. Get everything coded as far as all of the sensor buoys for the lore, ring stabilizers, starships. I could have them all placed on here. What ends up taking time is these logs, because the weapon logs don't take that much time. But as you can see, when you're trying to fill out the lore and give each ship a unique history, and then, oh, well, the Enterprise F does have some tie-ins where it meets up with Voyager A during the Cyrnax War, or maybe after the Cyrnax War. Well, if you put those kind of notes in the log over here for the Enterprise F, there's going to be a mention over here in Voyager A, and it's got to match. It can't be, oh, well, they met at this planet in this system, but in the other one, it's a different planet, same system. So that's literally what's taking so long is when I'm placing these, I want to make sure the lore is already done and it makes sense if there's any tie-ins between them that they all match. So that way you're not reading through these and going, well, wait a minute, I read something different over here. That's just a pet peeve of mine. So that's going to be the only thing that kind of slows this down. But while I'm working on this, we're going to be locking down starships and special weapons to their research pods for all of the races. That way, multiplayer is good to go. And then it's, like I said, it's going to be doing an analysis of can we get it to work before launch? If so, hammer down. If it's something we can get to work in 2025, and it's a patch, we just remove it, make it a part of the 1.1 upgrade if we do one, or is it just something that's going to wait till fleet ops? Remove it completely. I will say openly, one of those things that probably will get removed completely is the Prometheus class. And it's because we do have a working multi-vector assault mode as far as an animation. You click it, you do see the animation of the ship breaking apart, flying around, in an attack maneuver and recombining. It is successful. But we can't get it to fire weapons, especially from the points where the starships are during the animation. So it will fire weapons from empty vacuum, or it might not even fire weapons at all. Is that something I can get to work before we release it? Probably not, and that's fine. That's a limitation of A1. I can live with that. We can make that work in Armada 2 Fleet Ops, and it's going to look that much nicer with a better model, better engine, so it's fine. So there are going to be some things that we did plan, they won't work out, and it is what it is. So You just got to be patient with us on that one. And if you're looking forward to a feature that I might have highlighted initially in some of the earlier videos, there's one or two like that that I'm just going to have to be like, look, this will hold back production of this map, of this entire mod, if I try to just keep working on it. And the wait has been long enough for you guys. We're going to get this out there. So thank you guys for the patience as always. Thank you guys for the views. The channel's been slowly growing. You guys have really been loving these updates. The last video for the Fleet Museum was amazing. I think it's already getting close to 200 views. I think it was like a 160, 165 last time I checked, which is great. So it really shows that you guys are interested in this, and I'm hoping this update was good. Let's just go ahead and full stop right up here. There we go. Let's just destroy that. And I've got to work on the speed here. What we might end up doing is, based on the size of the map and what we're doing, we might have warp drive, but then we also might do essentially transwarp, but call it like a temporally charged slipstream or advanced slipstream or something, so that we can just transwarp through this map to make this a little bit faster. Because this is kind of a casual map. And technically, once you've read everything, you don't have to destroy these to end it. It's just an info map. You can just menu out and abort. But that's all I've got, and I hope you guys have enjoyed. Like I said before, like, comment, subscribe if you've enjoyed this. And until next time, you guys stay safe out there. Y'all have some fun playing Armada. See you guys later.